hatred in the mind, but we staying true. Yo, who we are, I ain't let it faze me. I'm just out here with the Sabs from the family.
That's what this shit I do. It's funny how a motherfucker can make videos and rap about they're from the land Indian colony, but say they're from Berkeley. Fake ass clout chasing Indians. If you slap Stewie G or ACS, you're down bad. That motherfucker a clown and can't even come to the res his gramps was from. Yet alone get 2K views on YouTube by himself. And on top of that, a straight bitch with a motherfucker in his face. Man, don't let him tell y'all wrong or get you thinking. What the fuck? Yeah, this was a clown. Motherfucker don't even know the real story of that shit. They wanna talk your shit. Fucking weird.
Seems like we can't trust the white man.
You bet we can. We dressed ourselves up like Abraham Lincoln. You know, we got to see the Secretary of the Interior. And he said, "Boy, you boys sure look civilized."
Before all the casinos, when you stole all them C-notes, brought the shooting and looting, said my family was evil, scared to face your own demons you created on the res. That's why you hella shook, can't even look at what you did, just got up and ran. Now you claiming you limb, acting like you the man, show no love to your fam. I'm like, fuck it, play it up, you some Hollywood suckers. I trust nobody all my life, and my mother turned limb, bruh, to dilemma. Now they biting, asking questions about this way, It didn't matter to you then when you left the ceremony for a system that is phony. So don't act like you don't know me, I've been up in the mix, dancing since I was 6. Yeah, you took your best shot, but you hitting them bricks, counting licks for them tricks. Yeah, we know you a snitch, you was all about the Benjis, trying to make yourself rich. What a mitch.
Casinos before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people, before the greed and the evil we used to bleed for our people. Disease by the dollar signs and blind the beliefs of our people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people.
Another shootout when that sun goes down. All the ones that claim they saved wasn't there to be found. Think you're holier than thou, hella spiritual now. You was thugging, now you bugging, bringing madness around. That shit be hella wild, now you calling it foul. For decisions that you made that took you to trial. Live your life in the now, bit my family style. Took the stand for survival, never kneel to their Bible. Indigenous gospel is what you about to witness. I hit them with the realness, watch them switch with the quickness. Never fail, been through hell, why these natives can't relate. Exposing all the fakes, pay no mind to the hate. Hitting bombs with the song, they think I'm going crazy. No venom in your poison, so your words don't even faze me. My cutty asked me why these rhymes be sounding angry. Wouldn't you be mad if your family did you shady?
Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people, before the greed and the evil we used to bleed for our people. Disease by the dollar signs and blind the beliefs of our people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people.
Don't question my stance, I'm just breaking the trance. I know we all need to heal, some things we can't take back, but this a part of their plan for us to all bash heads in the prisons or the ghettos. Definition of a res, facing up with the feds. I know they getting bread off the genocide killings. Yeah, you heard what I said. Now they using casinos, gotta speak in their lingo. Made us feel the greed, so I made it a single. I gotta go back in time, flipping Tweezy's rhyme. We them real Elam Johns from that sulfur bank mine. Didn't kick my family out, cause you knew it was right, when really it's jealousy. You did it out of spite, said you standing for the sacred, when we knew you hella faked it. The madness you created, helping native learners patience. Now I'm grown, seen what's really going on, wondering, struggling, why do you hate this long?
Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people, before the greed and the evil we used to bleed for our people. Disease by the dollar signs and blind the beliefs of our people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people. Before all the casinos, before we seen all the casinos, before the shooting and looting, before we fought our own people.
said, you know, if they're going to run me out, they're going to have to find a place for them. That's what I want.
And these three over here?
Huh?
These three?
Those are my, this right here is my father and my grandfather and grandmother right there. Oh, there's 5 graves in there, but there's 3 rocks in there, and I've always wanted to go ahead and get them distinguished, but I know where they're at.
I'm still gonna get those anyway. I know what that is. What is it? Just open it. Am I gonna want it?
Just throw it on the floor.
Oh! I want mine back. What'd you get? I got hot sauce. I want it. I want that one. Damn, she's like, hold on.
Tradesies.
Okay, I should have went last. You're gonna open it or trade it? How many? I know you want to trade. I don't need that. I know you really want to trade.
Good.